Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? You can see right here in this meeting, this is a meeting of all the big dogs. That's right. Trying to come up with some type of agreement between Sauter and the coordination framework. The thing is, Sauter's been inviting the people from the coordination framework to come join him. But he just said, look, there's one exception. I'm not including Maliki. That one person is holding up this this collaboration between the groups. And I'm siding with Sauter on this one. We'll get into details in just a second. If you don't mind, go ahead and smash the like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so. Because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. So we've been talking about this all along. Sauter is willing to take on the people and join with them from the coordination framework, with one exception. The fact that he's so stubborn on not including Maliki tells me that there's no doubt that he's going to go after him for all the corruption. I mean, I think the writing is on the wall there, and I think Maliki's trying to figure out how to save his own ass. We are 1 week away from finding out who the president for the Republic of Iraq is going to be. I thought for sure Saleh was a shoo-in. Barzani said that is his choice. And now Zabari's in there. Now, Zabari was in office back in 2012. So it's funny how these people seem to recycle the people in power. What I mean by that is Abadi, Maliki, Zabari. They come in, serve a term as prime minister, go away, come back, try for prime minister again. Maliki's been kicked out twice. Well, I should say he resigned twice. So you can understand where Sauter might be going with that whole situation. But 1 week away from voting for the president. It says right here, Parliament presidency. The end of the preparation for the presidential election session. No delay, even for 1 hour. Look, they're pushing forward. There are no more delays. They don't want no more excuses. The coordination framework continues to try to do what they can to stall. They keep filing lawsuits. They do everything they can to interrupt the government-elect, so to speak. Sounds familiar. Tuesday, the second deputy speaker of parliament announced that all technical preparations for holding the presidential election session on the 7th of this month have been completed, stressing that the election of the presidency will not be postponed, even for 1 hour from its scheduled date. They have to get the president elected within a certain time frame, and that's according to their constitution. The parliament's presidency is committed to the constitutional deadlines, and it is not linked to political disputes between the competitors, and it is proceeding with the constitutional entitlement after announcing the names of the competitors and completing the technical preparations for this process. There's like 29 candidates trying to be the president of Iraq. Fifthly, Iraq, the World Gold Council publishes a report on global reserves. Man, these are nice little bars here. I like to have that tray. I don't know about you guys right there, but I can't see from here, but it looks like they could be 10-ounce bars, maybe 10-ounce bars of gold, and then multiply that times the number on this tray. That's nice. They're definitely a lot fatter than 1 ounce, so these look like 10-ounce. So last January, the World Gold Council published its report on the reserves of central banks in the world of gold, and the data showed that the reserves amount to 35,571 tons of metal. Yeah, we're seeing again another record year in 2021 for gold purchases of central bank that set the records in 2020 and set new ones in 2021. They're up to something. Said according to the data, the total reserves increased by 11 tons in January's 2022 report. Gold is a safe haven, especially in times of crisis, as many people tend to buy it to hedge against inflation risk. And in the past years, the prices of the precious metals have risen in light of coronavirus crisis and its consequences. Now, this is awesome news right here. It says more than $8 billion, the volume of Iraq's oil revenues just last month alone. And why is this big news? Obviously, the more money they can generate from the oil, they can invest back into the country and start building up the private sector. The Ministry of Oil announced on Tuesday the total exports of revenues achieved for the month of last January, stressing that the amount of more than $8 billion at a price of $83.24 per barrel. Now, remember, their budget, I think, is at $55. So this is awesome. That's what we want to see. A statement from the ministry received by the news stated that, according to the preliminary statistics issued by the Iraq Oil Marketing Company, SOMO, the amount of crude oil exports amounted to 99,286,078 barrels, with revenues amounting to over $8 billion, so it's $8.27 billion. This is what we want to see. This is just going to continue to help get Iraq back on its feet a lot quicker. No more external and internal loans. They're generating a lot of money. They really need to get going on their agriculture and infrastructure. So Barzani's initiative, a meeting between the framework and the current and the Sunni and Kurdish forces in Baghdad. It says here a source of the Shiite Coordination Framework revealed on Tuesday that a meeting of the Shiite Sunni Kurdish political forces will be held at the end of the week in the capital of Baghdad. This meeting will include the leaders of the Sadrs movement or his representatives, the head of the Fatah Alliance, leaders from the Coordination Framework, the head of the Progressive Alliance, and representatives of the presidency of the Kurdistan Democratic Party and Patriotic Union. He pointed out that the meeting will discuss preparations for holding a session to elect the president of the republic without any political crisis, in preparation for assigning an appropriate person to form the next government during the period specified by the Constitution. This movement comes in the wake of an initiative launched by the Kurdish leader, Barzani, which led to the meeting of the Triple Alliance. So it says here, most of the odds indicate that Zabari, the candidate of the Kurdistan Democratic Party, will be the president of the republic, and that it later will assign the Sadrs bloc candidate to form the Iraq government, which is al-Qademi. In terms of numbers, they got this down pat, in other words, because they have created a very large bloc in parliament. So I'm sure the agreement is from Sadr, look, I'll happy you guys get Zabari in there. He wants to lay, but get Zabari in there. But I want al-Qademi as a prime minister. Don't screw me over. I'm pretty sure it went something along those lines. So let's cover something interesting. A lot of times when people are having discussions or debate about what the Iraqi exchange rate is going to be, one of the things that pops up all the time is it's really hard to do a rate of $3 because there has been so many dinars created. I mean, it's in the trillions. And because of that, you're not going to get the rate that everybody's thinking. But I went through and read on several articles and shown that they've taken a lot of that currency out of circulation. How much altogether is more of a guesstimation than anything else. But this is an older article, not that old. It was just last year, but check this out. So Iraq finds hidden ISIS stash. So I'm going to go ahead and play it so you can check it out. So I'm going to put it on mute for now, just because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So I'll just read what they're saying here real quick. So you can see all these bags here. It says a stash of water-damaged banknotes has been discovered in north of Iraq. 175 bags of cash are believed to have been hidden by ISIS. Dang, that's a lot of currency. They were found during renovation work in a Mosul branch of Iraq's central bank. ISIS militants took control of the city back in 2014. Look at them, more bringing up. The bank was hit by an airstrike during a military operation to retake the city back in 2017. Yeah, just pulling out all the currency. That currency's damaged. After entering the safes of the central bank, was discovered the banknotes. They were destroyed and heavily damaged since the coffers were submerged in groundwater due to the airstrike. Officials did not specify the total value of the recovered cash. ISIS reportedly seized up to $343 million worth of dinars. That's American dollars, 343 million of Iraqi dinars. So the reason why I bring this up is, again, we find more news about dinars that were damaged or taken out of circulation. Think supply and demand. The lower amount of dinars there is, the more demand, the more the value. It contributes to the value a little bit. Here's what might be a concern for all of us to have when we're talking about Iraq. China tightens its grip on Iraq with 3 major oil deals. The United States pulls out of Afghanistan. The Taliban take over. The United States pulls out of Iraq. It looks like China's going to get in there. Keep in mind, they are buddy-buddy with Iran. China has concluded 3 major oil deals with Iraq, most notably finalizing a 25-year deal with the, Mansouriya field, which could have huge geopolitical consequences. The signing of these deals is part of their broader Iraq policy of cooperation with China and Russia, providing military advantages for Moscow and economic benefits for China. There's a glimmer of hope for the U.S. here if it were hoping to influence the Mansouriya project, as it has not yet been signed despite being finalized. So yeah, China, don't forget, they're trying to really make part of their One Belt initiative. They really want Iraq to be there because Iraq is the gateway to the Middle East if you're coming up through the port there. China has continued to press home for geopolitical advantage given to it in Iraq following the official end of the U.S. combat mission in the country on December the 9th, with the conclusion of 3 huge deals all focused on the oil sector. However, crucially for the United States' ongoing interest in the Middle East, there may still be scope to change the eventual outcome of the development contract for the giant Mansouriya gas field and associated projects. So there was an agreement, it was informal, it was put together back in 2021, but it never got finalized because the government never had a chance to vote on it and finalize it. But they're waiting for the new government to take office, and then they're going to push to have it signed. So with China signing these oil deals with Iraq and being buddy-buddy with Russia, who has a major interest in Syria, and China's interest in Iran, this puts a lot of allies right next to each other. Could be big problems for the United States when it comes to doing anything in the Middle East. But also there are several elements of China's One Belt, One Road land and maritime routes. Again, with China trying to strategically place itself around the world along the shipping routes, it really looks like China's trying to do its best to control a lot of what's going on around the world. This could be a big problem for the United States. As far as our investment is concerned, not sure. It's going to be interesting to see. Anyways, we're going to find out real quick here in about a week who the president is going to be, and then who is the nomination for the prime minister, and then the formation of the government. Finally, the government is starting to take form, which is what we want. It's not good that China is going to be there, but that is not set in stone yet. We know the agreements are there, but not finalized. The United States is trying to also get in there. We'll see what happens. But I was happy to find the other article that just shows even more of the currency was taken out of circulation. $343 million worth, that's US dollars worth, converted on your own into what do you think the Iraqi dinars are, but it's in different denominations. So that's good. It's out of circulation. We want that. So that's it for now, you guys. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.